right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. This is UITK Radio coming at you live here on 8/1/2016. And now it's that time. We got some very special guests in the house. Now, the name of their organization, I kind of love it because we write life.
Wow.
Ain't that something? We write life. That means they write life into you.
Wow.
So if you're dying or something, these are the people to come to. Ladies and gentlemen, we got three guests here. Let me introduce you right now. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give hand claps and finger snaps to Amelia Thompson, sitting over there in the green over there. How you doing, Amelia?
Doing well, thank you.
All right, thank you for coming on. And sitting right across from me on my left side, let's give it up. Hand claps, finger snaps for Lisa. Is that Walks?
Yes.
Lisa Walks. How you doing, my sister?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being here. My brother, I know your name is Philippe, but what's your last name?
Sherry.
Sherry?
Yeah.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, hand claps, finger snaps for brother Philippe Sherry. Let's give it up for my brother. How you doing, my man?
Doing good.
Glad you guys are here now. Now the thing is, I'm going to ask you about what you guys do, but I'm going to read your bios off. I'm going to have brother Philippe talk about his thing as well. All right, now, so ladies and gentlemen, we write life. Now, here we got Amelia Thompson. Now, it says that Amelia, she loves to see God create possibility of what appears to be impossible. Now, thanks to God's guidance and kindness, she completed studies at Vassar College and St. John's University and is completing a certificate in youth and theology at Princeton Theological Seminary. Her prayer is that We Write Life will continue to flourish as a platform for building community around issues of justice, reconciliation, and forgiveness. Let's give it up for Amelia. There we go. Also now, when we go to Lisa, now Lisa Walks is a believer in the sheer magnificence of the power, glory, and awesomeness of God's love. Through Christ, the Father changed her life and mind about who He is and what He wants to do through the lives of ordinary people every day. Now she works as a front-end web developer. Oh, we got to talk to her. And loves to laugh and create things. Again, hand claps and finger snaps for Sister Lisa. And Brother Philippe, tell us about what you do, my man.
Yeah, well, I'm the multimedia producer for We Write Life.
Okay.
You know, just the photography and the videography work. Just to kind of like, I'm basically the reach. You know, they're the structure and I'm the reach.
They're the structure and you're the reach.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wonderful, my man. All right, so we're gonna dive right in because I got some questions for you. So, We Write Life. Now, how did this vision come about?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, We Write Life began directly after Mike Brown's death in Ferguson, Missouri. And the desire and goal, initial vision of We Write Life was to see people of color live beyond encounters with law enforcement. So it started as a teacher-led effort to help our students better understand and process the violence that was before them.
Okay.
So we started out as a letter writing initiative where we had students, both in the school where I worked and other schools, in another school, write letters to elected officials. And so an example of a letter might be, I'll read one.
Sure.
Dear Mayor Stephanie Rawlins Blake, my name is Christina. I'm 11 years old and I want to be an actress. I have a sister who's 22. She likes to sing, she likes to pretend she's in a Broadway play, and she loves sushi. I hope she lives. Sincerely, Christina. So all the letters have to be brief, it has to be respectful of his home, and you have to end with the words, I hope she lives or I hope he lives. And what the author is expressing there, Christina, is that she desires for her sister to live beyond and encounter with law enforcement. And so that was the initial phase of We Write Life, and we continue to do that work. Around this time last year, we actually expanded the audience, not just focused on specifically on elected officials, but we also encourage our participants to write to America. So the letters begin the same format.
Right.
They're addressed Dear America. And the reason we write to America is because of all the parts of the play in shifting the courses, shifts in writing.
Right.
And so the letter writing work, we also post conversation series focused on issues of justice, reconciliation, and forgiveness. So just this past July, we posted of that series at Women's World at this time. And we're excited about future work to continue to encourage conversation on these issues.
Oh, that's pretty interesting. So everything started right around Mike Brown, when that happened, that sort of thing. Oh, okay. Now, Sister Lisa, I want you to weigh in on that. So how do you feel about the subject that we just talked about, as far as black on black crime, that sort of thing? Do you have sort of any opinion on that as well, as it pertains to what you guys do?
Yes, it's very interesting that you say that because as an organization, we stand on these three pillars, very strong in justice, forgiveness, and reconciliation.
Right.
And at times, we have to kind of circle around because we have all these feelings and emotions being right in the middle of these things happening, upholding these pillars and not letting our personal feelings and upbringings and values kind of muddy up what we know that the Lord is telling us to go towards. And so I just thought it was really interesting what Charles Barkley was saying. And we're sort of in that same vein in that we all do have these roles to play for the ship, so to speak, to turn in the direction where it's fruitful for the community, our entire community as Americans. And so we believe that honesty is something that is very important. And so I appreciate Charles Barkley being honest.
Right.
But at the end of the day, our initiative really focuses on the interactions between law enforcement and communities of color, and we do see a disparity there.
Right.
And we want, like we said, we want to see people from communities of color live past these encounters because police officers are held to a certain standard.
Sure.
There is black on black crime, and it should be addressed. But at the end of the day, police officers take an oath to serve and protect us, and when we are being killed in the street without even an opportunity to de-escalate a situation, then we see issue there, and that's what We Write Life is really about.
So the letter, have you guys addressed specific police department precincts in the community, that sort of thing? Have you guys got any feedback from direct police officers or sergeants or anything like that? Or?
No, we haven't.
Okay.
Our first round of letters were addressed to Baltimore.
Oh, okay.
Round of letters were addressed to the mayor of Baltimore, and she did write back to us.
But she did raise that. Oh, what did can you disclose what she said? Or
She thanked us for the work. She thanked us for sharing the letters, and she supports the vision of the goals of the program.
That's interesting. And just as Lisa said, I mean, police are held to a certain standard. I mean, yeah, they're taken off to serve and protect. And then when, because when I was a kid, there was a time I looked up to a cop, cops and robbers. I used to play that game as a kid. So the police were like a hero to me. Now I'm like, oh man, you got a different take on it. Even though, but of course, my personal opinion, not all cops are bad. I think I think D.L. Hughley, I saw him on an interview on Fox News with Megyn Kelly, and he brought up the fact, and that was a heated argument going back and forth there. But he brought up there was a study back in 2005, 2006, where around the country there was a study of all the police departments in all 50 states, and from this study they found that there is, and I think from the Department of Internal Affairs, from their own police department, there is a segment of racism that's going around in it that police departments aren't really addressing. So even though, let's say you can have 85% of the police department clean, but then you have another 15% or so that are really dirty, or doing certain things, well, let's put it this way, they're just out and out racist, that so to speak. Because a lot of them are, they got members of some sort of secret society, or a KKK, a Klan, or whatever it is. So that's where I fit in, they have this whole way of thinking. And like Brother Rob brought up, they want to bring these things back to the good old days, that sort of thing. But I really appreciate what you guys do. I mean, that's pretty powerful. So let's break down the 3 pillars. Let's take the first one. What is it? Reconciliation?
Justice.
Justice. Talk about justice. How you guys chose that as the first pillar to address that sort of thing. How do you see justice? Or how do you mind should justice be achieved in this way?
It's so interesting that our first event on July 9th focused on justice. And we've been planning that first conversation for quite some time. And the date changed a number of times. And we finally set it on July 9th, having no idea that was the statute that came directly to us. Also sitting in step and had we known in advance, we probably would have planned it for that day.
Gotcha.
It just felt so heavy. But that was evidence that God kind of orchestrated had my first conversation series, as you mentioned,
Right.
and the topic and the focus of that night is justice. And we use images of quotes, such as the ones in the community we asked people, images that they recognize, for instance, an image of Sandra Bland, or an image of the removing the Confederate flag from the South Carolina Capitol grounds. And we asked people, so all the events include current and historic images that resonate.
And you hand those out at each
We
event? Okay.
Well, the way it worked actually, we gave everyone a venue, and we had a choice of choosing either an justice image or justice quote. And so if you received an image, then this is what people get.
Right.
And a quote, it might be a quote from Dr. King or an elected official, and all the quotes relate to some aspect of justice.
Let's take a look.
These are all
Okay.
It's one quote. So, for example, the quote might have been, there are times when silence becomes an accomplice to justice, and that's a Christianity. And so we asked our participants, how did the image or the quote that they received inform their understanding of justice? And the goal of that conversation wasn't necessarily to define, to offer our own definition, but as with the work that we do, we feel that coming to a place of sort of sameness around these topics requires us all to pitch in and to weigh in on the conversation. So there wasn't, we didn't at the end wrap up and put a tie, a nice bow on the definition of justice, but we all reiterated the process of the events that week in light of the events that continue to happen, unfortunately, around these issues of law enforcement and use of color.
Wow. These are very powerful images, I gotta say. I like these. Now that's pretty interesting because, now what do you say your take when I look at, let's see, let me find this image here. Because I've talked to quite a few people, and it seems our people in our community are becoming split on just these three words. Black lives matter, all lives matter. How do you guys see that? I mean, well, let me give you an example. Just Pastor Bernard, so to speak. And after I think it was after the Dallas killings, he put on his Instagram, all lives matter.
Right.
You know, I just happened to read it one day. I always go to Pastor's page and look at it on Facebook or Instagram. And man, and when he put that up there, I mean, he was getting hit. He said, well, Pastor, I'm not coming back to your church. You're not standing up for us. I'm like, wow, whoa.
Right.
Where we go with this? And then, you know, I ran into several members in our church at CCC, Christian Culture Center. And some of them feel the same way. And I said, wait, now you know what side he's on. Come on, man. Right. Pastor, look at his track record. Yeah, I would say this is the man that God speaks again. He's got wisdom. So I said, if Christ was standing, this is my thing, if Christ was standing right in front of you, and you asked him, all lives matter, black lives, what do you think he would say? But I'm sure Pastor, and I'm sort of in defense, but I'm sure he understands what Black Lives Matter means.
Right.
Definitely, what, in particular, as it pertains to us.
The community is trying to say
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, the comedian, what's his name, Michael Jr.,
Okay.
he came out with a video that following week as well. And he said, I understand, because his whole thing was, I hate to see black people split on those two slogans as well.
Right.
He says, I want to offer like an olive branch here. What about Black Lives Matter too? He said, can we accept that? That sort of thing. But let me get your take on that. Have you had any experiences of that? Or?
No, it's an important question. As Nina said, our pillars are justice, reconciliation, and forgiveness. And we recognize that Black Lives Matter, all lives matter, blue lives matter, that all those groups are distinct and they represent important values. But forgiveness, justice, and reconciliation, they're not opposed to any of those, but instead we exist in space that's designed to bring them all together. And we recognize it exists in a space that's meant to honor communities of color and people all to serve those communities.
Gotcha. Hey, I mean, all day. And Brother Philippe, you want to get your opinion on that? What's your take on it?
I agree with Amelia. I definitely feel like if you're definitely on the side of God, the only choice you can make is a choice, is God. So it can't be just Black Lives Matter or Blue Lives Matter. It has to be, you have to be in a space where it kind of brings everybody together. God's all about unity, oneness, So I definitely agree with what she said.
Oh, okay. Sister Lisa, anything that you're going to weigh in on yourself or?
Yes, and so as a participant of the like what you said before, these pillars are very important to us, given to us through prayer. And so we, like I said before, we have these different experiences and we have these different upbringings, and all of these things inform how we react to all these different things. But at the end of the day, I must, agree with Philippe and Amelia. And it is my personal value too that we are not here to divide. And sometimes these names, people take them as a all or nothing.
Gotcha.
And that's not where we stand. We're like all, bring it all, and we want to bring it. We all need to inform this so we can change, and we want to be honest so we can have a fruitful future.
That's true. That's true. And well, let me add another image here. We'll just take a quick look at that. Oh yeah. Okay. Now the March on Washington. This is how does this image inform what justice means to you? Explain March on Washington. Now the thing is, as we talked about earlier, the civil rights movement back then, of course, was headed up by the Christian church at that time, and of course, Black Lives Matter. First thing with the new lips. Black Lives Matter is sort of they're at the forefront of this movement right now, and I understand that millennials in particular in this generation, they haven't seen a victory, and so I can understand why certain millennials are. When I talk to certain, they got a certain anger about it. I remember I was talking to a youth, and again, in particular in our church, we have police graduations when they come out of the academy. We have them there, and a brother came to me. He says, "Man, how could we do that, man? Them guys gonna grow up. Why?" I said, "Don't look at it that way, my brother. You can't paint them all with a broad brush." But give me your take on, particularly this image concerning the civil rights movement then, and what's happening now as far as civil rights. Where we're going now, then and today, and what you guys would like to do. So, well, of course, you're doing it right now. That sort of thing.
Well, from the civil rights movement, when it comes to King, his message is all about kind of similar to our message. Just basically having the strength to love, through no matter what situation, and not having a violent attitude towards towards situation, and just the whole God approach, and I feel like with like you said, with this movement, Black Lives Movement, God is not even in the equation. So if God wasn't in the equation, I'd say that there'd be a lot of similarities, but to me it just seems like the Black Lives Movement is kind of like a distraction that's meant to divide, But the civil rights movement, it seems more uniform. Even though there were people that weren't on Martin Luther King's side, even though they had the church members that weren't with Martin Luther King, his message seemed more, came more from a Christ-minded mindset than
Okay. Now, and I want to get your take on this. Youth, have you talked directly? And I'm sure you talk with youth, right? Were there some challenges from some youth? And well, tell me about the challenges that you got from some youth, and tell me about some successes or agreements, in particular about what you do from the youth that you've encountered or spoken to.
Well, I guess I had a friend, right? And, when everything went down with Philando and the issues that were going on that week, he was very emotional about the whole situation.
Right.
And emotions are real.
Yeah.
But I have to play my part and be kind of not play into the emotions, just so that I can be part of the how can I say just part of the balance, because you have the emotional balance and you have the balance that's beyond that, right? So he's telling me, as a black man, I can't really say that that what he's like, I just can't. I have to agree with him basically. I have to agree with him that Black Lives Matter, that the cops are killing all of us and everything like that. And I came with the approach of from like true justice, right? And I was saying how to acquire true justice, and one has to be just not only outwardly but also inside, right? So if a man beats his wife but calls out for justice, is that true justice? It would have to be justice on both sides. He has to be like just at home and just with his friends, just with the cops and people in his neighborhood, as well as just receiving justice as well. And he's just very frustrated, and I feel like just the millennials are very emotional, so the emotion kind of the emotions are real, and these things happen. I'm not saying that it was right for the cops to do what they did, but we also have to, if we really want justice, then we have to focus on our community, just like you were saying earlier. We would have to, when it talks about black on black crimes, we have to kind of address these issues. So there's no excuse to reason, to oppression, because if we're together, there's no way oppression can happen. You know what I'm saying? If we're under God, like you were saying, how can oppression really happen? There's no room for that. So that's kind of like when it comes to that.
Interesting. Well, Sister Lisa, okay, now I want to ask you about the other pillar, which is forgiveness.
Yes.
Okay.
This is good. We are on a Christian, talk show. We are called, we are commanded as believers to forgive. I think that is one of the most challenging things, but one of the most beautiful things that you could ever encounter. I know in the very beginning stages, and I want to have a transparent moment of We Write Life. When Amelia and I, we were just starting out, and I didn't have integrity at a certain moment, and at first we weren't able to talk about it, but then we did speak about it, and she forgave me immediately. And to be on the receiving end of forgiveness is always sweet, but on the other end, sometimes we want to hold on to that thing that I was offended, and and rightfully so. But without forgiveness, we really don't leave the offender or the descendants of offenders any room to really to see us. We don't allow them to see us truly, the pain that we're feeling and all that, because they don't have that room without forgiveness. And so personally, I believe that forgiveness is a very integral part of what we must speak about forgiveness, because we have to move forward as a whole. We have to, and if forgiveness is not there, it'll be, the guilt will be there, and that's not true. Moving forward, there will be, the residue of things. We need to move forward, finally.
You're right. I mean, forgiveness is like we're taught, it forms a bitter root. That root strengthens every time, because the offending party, the person that offended you, whatever it was, they just go on, and it's like drinking poison. And you expect the other person to die. But
Didn't Jesus say, "How can you say you love me when you don't love your brother?"
That's so true.
Sister.
That's true.
Right. And love is the greatest commandment. Right.
It is.
So that is the root. That is the start of all things. Love, the ability to forgive and to love, to bring love back into the conversation. Because we have hate and bitterness. There's no love there.
I mean, because I was I'm just saying. Let me pick one in particular, the Trayvon Martin case.
Okay.
Because I said, man, if George Zimmerman put that dude under the jail, this dude, I was going in. I said, man, I was so angry at that, because how that went down. Because to me, once the police department told him to back off and leave that kid alone,
right,
he escalated the situation. He went against that anyway. So to me, I said, look, man, you're the cause of it. You're the catalyst why this kid is dead.
Right.
Because I believe you walked up on that kid. You said, well, what you firing? You firing him. Of course he's going to get angry. I don't think he has a right to get angry. Yeah, he probably was whooping that behind. Then he pulled out that gun and shot him. And I don't fault Trayvon for none of that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because that's an understandable reaction.
Right.
The thing is, like I said, he precipitated it. He's the catalyst of it. And again, I got more enraged when we lost that case because I thought the prosecution in the first place should have went after second degree instead of first degree murder.
Right,
Because you can definitely prove that you can get him on second degree because of the fact remains that once the police told him to go home, that means he's the guy that's responsible for escalating that situation that caused his death.
Right.
Even if he says he pulls that gun out and shot him in self-defense.
Right,
You know, so, and that angered me too, but then again, so people put these in, well, oh, Tony, it's not challenge. You're a Christian, would you forgive a guy like George Zimmerman? Okay,
Well, you know, we have to pick
Yes,
our
I have.
battles, and this is a spiritual battle, right?
It is a spiritual battle,
And we
yeah.
can't fight a spiritual
Definitely.
battle, we have to live up to the spirit,
Yeah,
right?
you have to live up, yeah, that's true,
Because
that's so
it's the
true.
spirit within that has to be dealt with.
And racism is just that, just as you mentioned, racism, the oppression that has come against black people from those times, from those generations, from Jim Crow onto now, it's a spiritual thing.
Right.
And just as my brother said, because it's like the Bible says, we cannot, I think, you know, like movies like Black Lives Matter, like I said, I do respect them for what they're doing.
Right.
And I'm sure the root of what they're doing is not really based in, you know, our beliefs and sort of as Christians. They're more on the civil level, okay, deal with, you know, righteousness and justice, that whole thing.
Right.
See, as Christians, we can't yell, no justice, no peace, because that's not biblical.
Right.
Jesus was all about, we want justice, but we want peace in order to achieve justice. And Jesus thought we're not going to get justice all the time, but still we ought to seek the peace of that city.
Exactly.
So we can't really go with that. But I think, you know, their movement is mainly based on the civil and, you know, the rights of a human being being taken away in an inhumane fashion, so to speak. So we as Christians, we have to stand up in a different way, and that's why I say, well, I believe the Christian church is probably going to have a little problem if they're going to side with them, and I think that's why it hasn't really happened or galvanized in that sort of way. But I think, as the Bible says, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal.
Right.
In other words, we cannot fight racism with carnal weapons.
Exactly.
I mean, we can raise our fists, do that, but I think that's a carnal weapon.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? We can protest, which is fine. We can march, we're fine. We can get on talk shows and show our anger. But I think, again, we have to do it the way Jesus did it. Because when you think about Jesus and Barabbas, why did he exchange Barabbas for Christ? Barabbas was the rebel rouser. Barabbas was the guy that said, look, man, I'm going to destroy the enemy, get our swords, we're going to fight against them.
Right.
You know, but look what happened. You know, look how Christ parallels that. They wanted Barabbas and said, crucify Jesus. Because Jesus wanted, okay, we're going to do this with nonviolence. I want your mindset to change as far as your oppression.
Right.
I want your mindset to change as far as dealing with slavery. I want your mindset to change as far as dealing with the Roman government, that sort of thing.
Exactly.
What Barabbas' whole take was totally different. But you notice, they said, crucify Jesus, we'll take Barabbas because he's the guy. And that's what I'm thinking now a lot. When I speak to certain youth, they want to be like Barabbas. Oh man, we got to fight back. We got to officially get. Because one thing when I'm watching, certain videotapes of, and I saw a youth who was on a protest thing. I mean, he's antagonizing the cops. He got right in the cop's face like this, and he's doing all of this, all the gesticulations there. And I'm like, man, you sort of, come on now. That ain't the way to do it. You're not going to do it like that because, like I said, if you raise your fist against them, they're going to raise their fist back.
Absolutely.
And like as my brother Philippe says, the Christian church, we as Christians, we have to react to this oppression as Christ did with spiritual, of course with prayer, of course with fasting, but of course as you guys are doing, getting involved in the community, writing to the president, writing to the politicians and the powers that be.
Absolutely.
As Christians, doing that, taking the Christian mindset that way. Because we can go with the whole black power and all that thing, but they're just going to raise a white power.
The only problem with raising up and getting in people's face, those persons that you get in their face secretly are preparing for your annihilation anyway.
Of course.
So they want you to get upset. So they want to have a reason and say, well, this is why I shot the guy. Because they have got their own little stash going. And then, they say, okay, you can't buy a gun, but we can. Right? So, we can walk around in some states with our guns displayed in amusement parks, but you can't. I think they had that protest where those guys showed up. Was it Texas? Everybody showed up with their guns and whatnot. And they said, okay, it's all right, but You know, okay, you just keep it cool. Because I think there was one group that showed up, black folks, who had their own guns, so, you know, there, and there was some white folks had their guns, and so it was a big issue. They didn't know what to do about that situation, because it's one of those states that you can carry guns, right?
Okay.
And so the governor said, okay, well, you guys stay over there, and you guys stay over there. But, you know, because at some of those rallies, you get a lot of people showing up with their guns, because those are states you can carry guns, you know, and so it can get real crazy when everybody's walking around with a gun. It becomes the Wild Wild West, and things can happen in a minute. So, you have to be careful again. You know, again, you have to pick your fight. You have to know what kind of fight you're fighting, and you know, and if you're in a fight with somebody that is spiritually unfit, you don't want to provoke them, because it may not turn out in your favor, because they already have a mindset where, you know, you're intimidating this and that. They're not going to jump around and you guys are going to get in a little tussle and dust each other up and walk away. It might be fatal for somebody.
Well, let me put that question to them now, because the other pillar is reconciliation. Tell us how you guys see that. What's your vision for reconciliation? Let's deal with that.
You know, this conversation reminds me of a text in Acts 16:37.
Okay.
But Paul said to the officers, "We beat us publicly without a trial, even though we're Roman citizens, and they threw us into prison. And now, do they want to get rid of us quietly? No, let them come themselves and sort us out." And that text, I remember reading it not long after becoming aware of the Black Lives Matter movement. And what I appreciate about those organizers is that they've kept this conversation at the forefront of national consciousness. And we're not we write life, but we have the traction that it does. And so I recognize them not as a distraction, but as a group that continues to push this conversation forward. And sometimes in ways that I agree with, and sometimes in ways that I don't. But I stand with them to the extent that they stand alongside communities of color. And we also stand alongside those communities of color and people called to serve in those communities. And so when we talk about reconciliation, we exist in that space that desires to bring those groups together. So for example, in the fall, we are going to be launching a campaign called Points of Light Initiative, or Points of Light campaign. Points of Light.
Points of Light. Oh, okay.
And we're going to invite the community, both in New York and around the country, to nominate law enforcement, police officers, and then also community members that are working to build relationships between law enforcement and the community. So, for example, I was in NYCHA development a few weeks ago, and the reason we were there was not a light matter, and the reason I was there was not a light matter. So police were also involved, and people couldn't access particular space in that development. But one officer, after some time, very hot in the hallways, he brought out a pail of water for a blue dog that was also in that hallway with us. And I just thought that because of what was going on, that was the least significant thing that you could have thought of. I thought there was a kind thing, and I said, that was a kind thing you did there. And then just last week, I was in Brooklyn Bridge Park, and I noticed that there's an officer who's on duty. He pulled over the van, and he started to greet a large Latino family. There's 20 members there celebrating someone's birthday. And he's giving hugs to the ladies, giving pounds to the guys. Then I looked closely, it was the same officer.
Same
It was
officer?
the same officer. And so he is, and this is Officer Keller. He's the 84 in Brooklyn. He's an example of point of light. And so that's what we really are. We want to see people, officers standing up and living out the values, right? On NYPD, your police department vehicles, the values, courtesy, professionalism, and respect are painted on those cars. And we see that happening, we see that being really well. Those are points of light. And we also see community members reciprocating when we see us together.
I like that. Just give it a hand clap of fingers to the officer Keller. And what you did for Points of Light. I like that. See, we need to see more of that.
Amen.
More of that.
Amen.
Now, as far as your organization, how do you get that message to the police? How do you get that to them? You guys have any thoughts on that?
The media question, right?
How do you address police or the police? How do you do that? What do you guys vision for that? That sort of thing.
I mean, I definitely have some visions. I definitely have some ideas, and a lot of the ideas and visions that I have, I talk to these a lot about a lot of things that I kind of want to share with video about too.
Oh, okay.
But I definitely feel like just like the conversation we had way earlier about how some people are people that need to see, like seeing is believing,
Right.
So bringing using media platform like photography and
the
techniques
arts, yeah.
and the arts, videography, then you give people an opportunity to see that what the American media portrays as cops or African American or Muslim or whatever the case may be is not necessarily completely what it is, So I feel like we're in a position right now where we can do things like this, like art, like move our own money, and our own productions or whatever the case may be, to kind of show people that there's a different side to this coin,
Sure.
So I feel like in order to reach, the arts can really touch a lot of people, really show them a different side.
Okay. That's it. Now, since you mentioned the arts there, you guys have something that you've written. Was that a spoken word piece?
It's a poem.
It's a poem.
Right.
Okay.
I'll share it.
All right. Here you go.
All right.
The year was full of answers, responding to the year questions that came before. Zora said it would be this way. Rest. Trust me. Breathe. You lack nothing. Those were the answers that kept coming, like the sun that announced the day. They brought a newness to each morning, with promises of a brighter turn. And then there was night. And the quiet came. And there was no talking. The answers couldn't be heard because they weren't being spoken. And only the memory of responses that had come before would be echoed. I thought the sounds would be stale like bread left out of the cup. Hard pressed to wonder, but they weren't. They were as fresh as a new loaf, somehow. Yesterday's news still here today. That made it really good. Rest. Trust me. I'm in control. Slices of this new life live daily. Saved. It was the best thing before sliced bread. And of him I am full. Fully known and yet fully loved. Fully full and yet being filled. Somehow. Trust. He's in control.
I love that. Now, that you're writing?
Yes.
Excellent. What's for that?
Beautiful.
Very nice. Well, what was your motivation when you were writing that? What was your thought process?
So it was hashtag frequency and tuning in. It was a time when I was really trying to listen more. And early this year, I was actually fall last year. I was on Mandy and voice rest. And so without being able to talk, I had to listen better. And it sort of helped me form not just I can listen to a teacher, but it also informed my practice of teaching, but also the work that we do right now. And then we're really committed to being better listeners, and that improves our ability to have a conversation in civil ways and honest ways, to be able to speak the truth and love. So it helps us to be better, get able to listen, where we are to respond.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Very creative. Now, my sister here, Lisa, says you like to create things.
Yes.
Tell us some of the things you like to create and anything in particular to what you do with We Write Black.
Oh, so I am the web developer, and I do all the graphics and stuff like that. But I've always liked to create things.
Is that the pen logo? Is that you?
Yes.
Oh, excellent. I love it.
It's actually our logo is a mix between a pen and a lighthouse. Just
there it is. That's right.
Right, and so the lighthouse represents for us, it's a beacon of hope. Light is relief, but it's dark all around. When you see this beacon of light and hope. And so we hope that our voice is unique in this conversation as it brings hope to it in such a bleak place. Right now it may seem very dark, but we believe and we want to see and we see that the ship can turn into a hopeful and bright tomorrow. But I like to create all types of things. I crochet. I like to do those types of things. But I'm really anxious and hopeful and just looking forward to see what God will use my skills for as it pertains to me, right? Like this is a different generation,
Right.
very visual, quick, and so we.
It's like you guys are all millennials, aren't you?
I we're like right in the middle though, because we know what CD players are, Walkman.
Oh, that's true.
So we're like the transition,
Okay.
and we're just like, wow, things are changing so quickly.
Okay.
Right, yeah, like the old heads. And so I was gonna call social media the traditional way, you know, to get things out, and that's just so crazy to think of, isn't it?
Look at that.
Anyhow, and so we like to treat and to share when we see reconciliation. We see a couple of times where people went out to protest Black Lives Matter, and across the way was All Lives Matter, and at the end, it ended up with hugs and love.
Wow.
And when we see these things, we are so quick to share them because we feel like, you know, we need this in order to move forward. And so we want to create, you know, this space where people feel safe sharing how they've been feeling for, you know, all the things that have brought on these feelings, but also a place where just good ideas and love and, you know, and God can be shared, and so we can move forward. We're all about moving forward.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, man, we are all about moving forward now. We're going to be right back. We are talking to We Write Life. Now, I'm sure you've been educated on what they had to say about certain issues. I know I have, but don't you dare touch that dial. This is Tony Mitchell, Brother Robert Tour, here with Lady Lisa, Brother Philippe, Lady Amelia. We'll be right back. This is Ushering in the Kingdom. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. This is UITK Radio here, and we're talking with We Write Life. You know what the word says, write the vision and make it plain so you can run with it. These three people right here are running with it, I gotta tell you. I'm so encouraged by what they're doing, so we're gonna dig in as well. Some more with them now. Before we start, we want to give a quick shout out to Hot101.net. God bless you out there, the brother DJ Lex and family. We want to thank you for blessing us and enabling us to do what we do.
Amen.
Also, we'd like to give a quick shout out to Brother Edmund Dorsey. God bless you, my brother.
Edward.
Amen, amen. God bless you, brother, and thank you for blessing us and enabling us to do what we do. And Miss April, tell me, God bless you as well. Thank you so much. So now we're here with We Write Life. They are writing some life into me right now because I'm so encouraged by the words and by what they're doing, the deeds that they're doing in the community. Now the thing is, what I want to ask next, ladies and gentlemen, here is this. Now, well, you explain one thing. Okay, let me put it this way. Now, you mentioned there are others in your group, right? There's two others? I take it all.
Okay. So Sonia Denise.
Sonia Denise, yes. God bless you, my sister, yes.
She is responsible for dream development.
Okay, dream development?
Dream development.
I like that. Okay.
And then we can work with individuals and organizations to fill potential.
Okay.
To execute and create the things that Christ desire. So she's been very influential in helping us in this space.
Okay.
And then as part of our first event, Raymond Thomas of Community
Okay.
was our host.
God bless you, my son. You see, I was about to say Marie Thomas. That's right, man. But the brother, man. Okay, I'm just a little kidding.
And we also had Jazeel Campbell, who's a poet.
Oh, okay.
He has an upcoming audiobook as well.
An audiobook, okay. People, do you have any information where people can get it online? You can tell our audience? So, okay. Gotcha.
Campbell.com is where
Okay.
they can access his audio.
Gotcha.
And then his Twitter, we found Twitter is underscore, is it at John Zeal?
Ja_Zeal.
Okay.
JA_ZEL.
Oh, okay.
And can you say that first one again? It's slowly?
Sure, John Zeal Campbell.
Okay.
John, JAH_Zeal is his Twitter. And Trina Battle is also a
Trina Battle, okay.
And she was part of our first conversation series. She's fresh out of finishing the program at Sun.
Oh, wonderful. And you said Sonia Denise, her organ is Dream Development,
Dream
right?
Development.
Dream Development.
Dreamdevelopment.com.
Dreamdevelopment.com. Okay, just want to make sure. Now, you guys have a website or anything like that? Okay. Oh yeah. What is your tell our audience is that?
Our website is WeWriteLife.org, and you can find us on Facebook, Facebook/WeWriteLife. You can find us on Instagram /WeWriteLife. Also on Twitter at WeWriteLife.org.
Okay.
And email info@WeWriteLife.org.
All right, excellent. Excellent. Now also, ladies and gentlemen, I want to let you know, please hit us up on the chat room. The chat room is live. If you have any questions or comments for our lovely guests here, please hit us up right now. Get on that chat room. If you have any questions or comment, we will read them on the air or address them to our guests, and I'm sure they will be more than happy to respond. Also, I wanted to ask you guys, okay, talk about others in the group. Also, now, you mentioned the Point of Life. That's an event that's coming up? Or
Points of Light.
Points of Light. I'm sorry. Points of Light.
That's right. We're going to
Okay.
be sharing about that in the fall. And so if anyone's interested,
To the fall.
they updated about when they ask for nominations.
Okay.
Police officers and community members. They can go to our website and subscribe. So we serve and we'll keep updated.
Gotcha. Now, any other events besides that one that's coming down this year? Or?
So far, that would be it.
Okay.
We also host, it might be a dual event, conversation around either forgiveness or reconciliation.
Okay.
Similar to our justice
Excellent.
conversation in July.
Wonderful. Also, okay, now, when I last saw you, sort of broke the swirl. How did, tell us the results of that. What was your takeaways when that event was done? Did you accomplish what you had set out to do there? Well, explain that event. Because,
So
me.
actually, before the event started, we talked about what our goals were going to be. And the focus really wasn't on the number of people who showed up.
Gotcha.
But our key goal was to make sure that we as a team, the three of us who were here, and the other three who just mentioned, Sonia, Marie, and just Neil and Trina, so four of us are, that we all were on one accord. And that was accomplished. Also, I know from the event, these can speak to this as well because of the week that we had as a country. I know we all felt a bit less burden, I should say.
Oh, okay.
After having had that process. In some ways it was sort of cathartic to talk to people who got it, who understood the frustration, the anger, the pain, the sadness that we all were processing right after it was also sterling by justice.
Makes sense. Well, excellent. Now, this is part of the show. I like to do. I like to throw out a word or a name or something like that, and I like to get like a first response right at the top of your head. So you're in a hot seat, right?
Now you know how I feel.
Okay, are you ready? All right. Sister Lisa, Barack Obama.
Black.
Okay. There he is. Another Philippe. Donald Trump. Okay. Okay. Sister Amelia, civil rights.
Right.
All right. Excellent. You like those answers, Ron?
Well, yeah, there's something to be thought about it, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Civil rights is civil rights,
I
right?
love it. Okay. Sister Lisa, police department.
Justice.
Brother Philippe, justice.
God.
Sister Amelia, oppression.
When a word or a phrase, is it one?
You say a word or a sentence? Right? Yeah.
Oppression.
Whatever pops in your head.
I don't know why the word righteous came to mind. I'm not sure why.
Righteous? Okay. And I do have, that's something I wanted to lead into. I put oppression last. Do you believe, now, do you believe, in your opinion, like I've spoken, like I said, with people in my community, a lot of them say, hey, look, we're still enslaved. We're still slaves. They even bring up the 13th Amendment where you're incarcerated, you're basically a slave to that, basically what that said. Do you believe today that we're enslaved or under oppression? Do you believe in the notion, or not a notion, let's put it this way, do you believe in the idea of white supremacy or white privilege? And I want to get all three of your takes on that, so to speak. We'll start with just a little bit.
So I'll start with the lens that I look at lens,
Okay.
which informs the way I think about life and what is, what was, and what's to come.
Right.
So God's word says that the Spirit of the Lord is there to freedom. And he also says that in Micah 6, what does the Lord require of us to act justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with our God? So there's no doubt that there are existing messages about history of the transatlantic stature and what that's done to us community, or what it's done to us economically. When you look at our school system, school systems, when you look at the justice system and the history of mass incarceration, disparities with regard to sentencing, and the way that our communities are policed, there's no doubt that racism and that white supremacist thought continues to evidence itself in the way that we Black folks and never experience life. So I think that's true, while it's also true as Christians who believe in God of justice, who believe in God of righteousness, who believe in God who continues to renew our minds, that we have choices to make that stand in the face of the history that we know exists. And I think that's part of the reason why Red Line exists. And it's not to deny the history that is first this moment as we're facing, right? And you know, killings and the lack of consequences, this didn't come out of anywhere. This didn't come out of anywhere, right? It's consistent with the history that we've seen, and the history that we know the justice system doesn't necessarily hold people in who should be held accountable. But with that said, as believers in Christ and believers in God's word, we know that this is a fallen world, and there's much change. And God has put us here, and God's word says that we are the lights of the world. The lamp gives light to all that's around, so we have responsibility to respond to history that we know exists, the history that did exist, and where we are now, in ways that continue to point us towards God's heart about these issues. And I think more than anything, with regard to the history of Black America and what we currently face, I think we often forget and come to obscure the fact that more than anyone else, God wants justice.
Yes.
And so to do that, we work toward that. Is the reason which we fulfill what we here to build ultimately.
Amen. Appreciate that. Philippe?
When I think about issues on race and white privilege, what is going on, you know, I think that, you know, this always worked, you know, since the beginning of the fall. You know, you had the Egyptians and the Hebrews, right? And you have, you know, the Germans and the Jews, you know, and you have everything, you know, leading up to now, right? So for me, it's like, you know, there's definitely a spirit behind all of this, right? There's definitely some spirit, and the spirit takes different forms, right? Something, I guess the form for it right now is racism. But for me, it's like, maybe it's more like power versus those of power. You know? And those of power taking advantage of the power they have, right? And they're misusing it and using it for their own benefit. And I feel like that's like the source of it. You know? That's like the source of it. Right? And I feel like when it comes to being oppressed, it's something that or being part of this, I guess, a curse, right, of oppression. It's something that you have to claim, right? If you don't claim it, and you don't believe in it, even though the physical is there, the mental or the spirit has no association with it. You know what I mean? So even though the physical world will try to push you or try to stop you or try to get in the way, as long as your spirituality is connected to the higher power, connected to God, then you have no care for the things that's in your way, because God can always make a way beyond it. So even on the outside, maybe it may look like you're being oppressed, but if inside you're good, right? If inside you're happy, are you truly being oppressed if you're living life to the fullest? You know what I mean?
Right.
So, these things are present in the physical, but they don't have to be present in the spiritual.
Amen.
I like that. Sister Lisa.
Yeah, so while Amelia and Cooper talked, a scripture came to my mind in 2 Corinthians 4:7, but we have this treasure in earthen vessels, so that the surpassing greatness of the power will be of God and not from ourselves. We are afflicted in every way, but not crushed, perplexed, but not despairing, persecuted, but not forsaken, struck down, but not destroyed. And I think, what they're saying is right. We must look at this through spiritual lens. At times, it is difficult to do that. Even in the work that we haven't even been doing it that long. At times, Amelia and I have had to call each other on the verge of tears or in tears, wondering how, just how we see these tragedies. We're like, at different times we have to encourage each other, like, no, we know that God is doing something here. These lives are not in vain. And that's something that is present on our website. It is present when we speak, these lives are not in vain. These lives matter, even though they were struck down at young ages. There's stories of children as young as 7 years old being in the crossfire of this type of violence. And so we must look at these things with hope. We have to, or we will despair. We'll say it doesn't matter. We'll give up. And like Philippe was saying, the mindset is truly important. You see other groups, people of color, coming to this country and thriving in a generation or two. And still, people of color who are here from generation to generation are struggling. And it's not because they are something, it's because of the mindset. So I personally believe that it's the mindset that holds us back, and it's not necessarily the fault of the people. And I think we need to invest in the mindsets, what we are seeing, what we are hearing, what is constantly being told to us in the music, in our media. We need positive reinforcement to bring us up out of these dark places.
It's some positive emphasis. That is so true, right there. Especially in entertainment, man. Because I've always been the one that said, man, if guys like Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, all these guys said, if they were a little louder, so to speak. I've heard this argument back and forth. Say what they would say to you, okay, pull up your pants.
Right.
Don't use profanity. Stop, impregnating women. You have no notion. You're not even thinking about marriage.
Okay.
That sort of thing. If they would tell, lay off the drugs, lay off the violence, if these guys were louder in saying things like that, I think it would have great impact. You see what I'm saying? But I think if they did, it would affect the record sales. You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
I think, there's a big discussion. We got to do a show to talk about this some more.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said about
it. Would definitely set the bottom line.
Who controls the media and what you hear.
And who controls it? That's a good, that's the world too. The world controls it.
Whatever comes in, garbage out.
Yeah. Even the gospel music industry as well.
Exactly.
But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. So we've heard from We Write Life. I gotta tell you, Brother Tuli, any closing remarks?
Well, I like the courage you guys have. It reminded me when I was a youth. I was very much. My father was in the military. I had an afro and I walked around like this. And that's how we saw each other from a distance. And I was a rebel, And now I'm a quiet spiritual. And it warms my heart to hear that the acknowledgement still was being voiced and not being submitted to of the things that are going on. And I wish you guys great success, unity and love, and God's blessing and spirit and empowerment on your lives, and His protection, and His angels encircle you in everything that you do. May you stay close. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm going to piggyback with Rob on that one because what you guys are doing, very powerful stuff. I am so encouraged. And see, that's how you know that Christ is in the world.
Amen.
See, the thing is, the only way you win people to Christ, you got to win them first through you.
Amen.
In other words, before you can inject your theology, you got to inject your sociology first. And that's what they're doing here. And they're representing that full well. And I got to say, it's very powerful. It's a blessing to the community. Not that I wish it great success, I pray great success. And I'm sure that's coming. But I'm sure it's growing. And I think it's well received. I could just see it on you. You guys are definitely liked. I love the logo, what you designed there. And we're going to try to pump you guys up as much as possible. And we got some future shows coming up. I'm sure we're going to deal with things. So we want to ask you guys to come back as well. And fill us in on what the project that you're doing, going down the line, that sort of thing. But yeah, I think in closing, we need forgiveness as they represent. We need reconciliation. We need, and what was the justice? We need justice, definitely. All those things are needed, and I think they all can be accomplished with Christ's love. And I think that the foundation that you're built on is Christ. That's the whole thing, and that's what I really love about you guys. They built their organization on Christ. So anything that's on Christ is definitely going to grow. It's definitely going to have success. It's definitely going to heal, and it's definitely going to make change out there. And that's what we need right now. Because, like I said, we're not anti-police department or cops or anything like that. We just want justice, but we want to do it peacefully. And we believe there are good guys in the police department, just as you mentioned, Officer Kelly. He's going around hugging and greeting people. That's a beautiful thing. This guy online, on the web, he's T.R. Norman or something like that. I've seen a bunch of images with him doing that type of thing. And there's a brother. He's going around the country. With free hugs. You got to see his videos, man. He's hugging all these officers around the country. So that's pretty. So hope is out there. Hope is out there because we got to quell all this anger. But I think again there has to be a balance on both sides. I think if we as African Americans change our mindset on how we police ourselves and really dial into the morality or the character, let's put it this way, dial into the character of Jesus Christ and what He said in the raising of every day and how we treat each other. Because I think that sort of plays into, because I always say, how do we take the bait all the time? And the reason I say that is this, because they say, look, Tony, the drugs, we don't create the drugs, but they put them in our community. I say, yeah, but we take it.
Right.
We want to get high, we want to have fun, and that thing, the drug, is a curse. The war on drugs, when you look at it, it's an accursed thing. If I sell it to you, then guess what? I'm not blessing you with that.
Right.
You're my brother. Mm-hmm. So, and you're going to probably give it to another brother or sister, whatever. Exactly. So now that becomes an epidemic. Then it's a pandemic. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm poisoning, I'm destroying my own community, but I'm only thinking of myself when I sell that drug to you. Mm-hmm. Or even if I'm just a buyer and I want to get high, this thing is cursed. Law enforcement, in other words, concrete authorities behind it. It's illegal.
Right.
No matter if marijuana doesn't have it, I'm just saying, from that level, no matter if it's marijuana, cocaine, whatever it is, it's still an accursed thing. It brings destruction to my community. Same thing with guns, same thing, all these other things. So what I'm saying is, we have to think about ourselves as taking this bait. Because what I'm saying is, the enemy wants to destroy us. Because like I always go with it, it's an old saying. It said when black people catch a cold, black people sneeze, America catches a cold. And it's pretty interesting, our influence. Look how we culture the world, especially when hip-hop culture came in here.
Right.
How we influence the world, about look, dress, style, and all other stuff, and the music that goes around. And I think that's something God put, not that we're better than anybody, because I hear people say, yeah, man, we're the smartest. I understand our black history on that. That is great, but it's damn the better the world, in other words, to serve man, to better the world. In other words, to point people towards Christ. That's why you have certain gifts, talents, abilities, and all that stuff. It's not there to say that we're better than anybody. But see, the thing is, if we use those things and use them for the world's vision, that's what the devil got us.
Right.
And so I do think there is some sort of self-destruction that we are perpetrating in our own communities if we're able to check ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
and then we can keep the concrete authorities out at the police department,
Right.
and then I think we'll be a lot better. But of course, they have to change as well. They have to make their changes as well.
And
Their
I
policy.
just want to leave a word with our youth out
Mhm.
there who might be listening. You know, everything starts in the home. It starts from who you get your information from. If you're not getting it from your parents, you're getting it from people around you. And that does not necessarily mean that people around you are any smarter than you. So therefore, if you don't have that strong structure at home, but you are creating a family, remember, you know, it stops with you. You know, so if you have a family, look into your child's eyes and say, what future is my child going to have without me in that child's life? You know, anybody can father a child, not be responsible for his life to come about. But once that life comes about, you have to stop and say, okay, did I plan this? What can I do to make it right? And can I give my child a chance? And you know, as a parent, be it male or female, it's a responsibility of you guys, us as a community, to take care of our children. And if we take care of our children, they'll have a chance, because we have to build in them a future. And if we just throw them out there, they will have a future, but not the best chance at it, you know? So other communities, other families are building families. They're imparting into their children. You know, children are very important. They're a gift from God. They're our responsibility, you know? So let's do the best we can with this precious gift we have, which is one another, our children, and our parents. Forgive them. You know, they're operating with what they have. They come from a different time. They come from a different struggle. But yet, at the same token, you don't have to use that as an excuse to say, well, if you've been through what I've been through, you will do what I do. No, okay, you've been through something, okay, but today is the day you can stop and say, how do I want to continue my life? Do I want to continue as I did yesterday, or do I want to change my life and start making a better life? And that's something to consider.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I mean, that for every parent, well, will parents get that message? You know, bring children to the world or visit their families. Definitely. I mean, that's because one of the factors is the breakup of the African American family. It affects all of it and it produces, when that happens, it produces a lot of angry youth out there.
Absolutely.
A lot of angry youth. And
A lot of
their problems become out loud.
Then
And you have black folks calling the cops on black folks. This continues. But yes, but ladies and gentlemen, let's give hand claps and finger snaps to We Right Life, Sister Lisa Walks, Brother Philippe Sherry, Sister Amelia Thompson. We want to thank you guys so much. Excellent what you're doing. We appreciate you so much. God bless you and all you do. So ladies and gentlemen, please tune in next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. This is UITK Radio. This is Tony Milton and Robert Toomer signing off here on Ushering in the Kingdom Radio. God bless you. Thank you so much.